So I just got a simple sermon today, and the title is just Saved by the Son. Saved by the Son. You know, as I was meditating on what to preach and teach on, you know, we could have talked about the Immaculate Conception. That's Jesus being born of the Holy Spirit and not of a man's seed, not natural causes. We could have talked about that and explored that, and it would be bewildering to our minds. How does that happen? It's a supernatural conception. So I could have talked about that, or I could have talked about the Magi, how when Jesus was born, they seen a new star in the sky. And when Jesus was born, God created a star. Hallelujah. To mark who Jesus is. He created a star. He altered the solar system. We could talk about that, and if we were into astrology and things, we could talk about that. Or we could talk about how God set it up, knowing that the persecution that Jesus was going to suffer, Herodias, and then we're going to kill all the firstborn. And God brought the Magi, and they had gold, frankincense, and myrrh. He gave Joseph and them what they needed, a supply to go into Egypt to sustain them. We can talk about those things, or we can talk about Joseph, who heard from God, and they were in Mary and Joseph, they're in a society that shunned those type of things because it looked like Mary got pregnant. You know, hey, you're pregnant by the Holy Spirit. Now tell me what man would believe that, right? You're pregnant by the Holy Spirit, what? But Joseph was a just man, and he said, I don't want to put her away, because back then you could stone you for that. They stone you for that. But Joseph heard from an angel of God, and they did not have any supernatural things that happened, but he heard from an angel. He was obedient to God and still took Mary as his wife. So there's many sermons that are going on during Christmas time. There's many sermons, and all of them are good because they're talking about Jesus. But I just want to talk about simply is that we're saved by the Son. You know, in Matthew chapter 1, verses 21. Matthew chapter 1, verses 21. And Matthew chapter 1, verses 21, and says this, and she shall bring forth a son, and he shall call his name Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins. There's so many things, like we're saying, the gift giving and everything with Jesus. But Jesus came to save his people from their sins. To save us from our perishing predicament. To save us from our mess and our distresses. He came to save us from our sins. Anybody was a sinner. Now, sin means to miss the mark. And what does salvation mean? Now, sozo, in the Greek word sozo, it means to be saved from danger and peril. It means to be saved from sudden death, to be delivered from a dangerous path, to be protected from something or someone stronger than you that is trying to do you harm. It's like a firefighter running into a burning building, like a lifeguard saving a drowning person. It's like a Marine going forth and saving a soldier. So Jesus didn't just come so we can live a life, but we have to understand what Jesus means when he came to save us from our sins. So if we go back to the beginning of the Word, in Genesis chapter 1, it talks about how Adam and Eve sinned. And in Romans 5, 12 and 14, it says, by one man's sin and disobedience, death came unto all men. And see, that would seem unfair, right? Adam sinned, now we all got this sinful nature. Now we all have this prone to go towards sin, to go towards doing not that which is right, to go towards doing drugs, to go towards drinking alcohol, to go towards fornication, whatever. You can fill in the blank, whatever it is. Now we have this sinful nature, and Adam was separated from God, separated from the glory of God, and he was kicked out the garden, the perfect will of God. And now he has to start over. But see, Adam experienced the salvation of God too. He experienced the goodness of God in the land of the living. Because God could have said, Adam and Eve, y'all through with y'all. I'm going to create another man. But he didn't. See, he worked. And y'all say, well, Adam and Eve messing up. But it's through Adam and Eve the seed of the righteousness came. Through Seth, man started calling on the name of the Lord. So what I'm saying is that just because you sin, you see, we see grace in the first chapter of Genesis with our first parents, Adam, just because they messed up, yeah, they missed it. Yeah, Satan deceived them. Yeah, they were right there with God. They messed up, but our Father didn't give up on them. So I'm saying when you mess up, God doesn't give up on you. Hallelujah. Let's not give up on people because we never know when they're going to get it. See, people might have given up on me. They didn't know one day at the age 32, I woke up and said, God, I'm through. I surrender. Hallelujah. And I started seeking God for it. Hallelujah. You didn't know. People wouldn't have thought, but it's not our timing when it happens. We want it to happen when we want it to. I've been praying for you for 5 years, for 10 years, but you know what? It's God's timing. Because so God can get the glory. Because he sent Jesus to save us from our sins. See, and that word save, he rescued me out of my sin. He took me out of danger and put me on a great path. And you know what? I don't even want to go.
That's right.
One day, back to that backsliding thing. No. When God saved me from my sins, really saved me, when I really got saved, surrendered and sold out to God, what no more backsliding. Did no one have to find me and tell me to go to church. Did no one have to prompt me to give and stuff like that. No one didn't have to ask me to do none of that. Because when I was saved, God put his nature, his DNA in me. And I can give to people. I can live for the Lord. I've been saved from my sin. Hallelujah. Anybody been saved from this? Let's go to the house of the Lord. Hallelujah. I'm glad to be in church. It's like I was glad to go to the club. I'm glad to go to church. I'm glad to get my dance. So, we need to go straight out. People say, that's not proper. But you know what? When I was in the world, I sure wasn't proper. I wasn't proper. I wasn't trying to please nobody. I was out for self. Hallelujah. So what did Jesus save us from? He saved us from ourselves. Yeah. From my selfishness, my self-motivated, my self-vision. It was all about me. But when Jesus got a hold of me, there's something that came over me when I found Jesus Christ, my Lord and Lord and King of Kings. See, I no longer walk the same. I no longer talk the same. I no longer felt the same. Something came over me. A change and a transformation came over me. I got saved for real. Hallelujah. And everything began to work out. Doesn't mean I don't have challenges. Doesn't mean we're not going to have some challenges. See, many are the affliction of the righteous, but God delivers us from them all. See, you can go through life on your own self-esteem, trying to figure out your own way. Or you can go through life with Jesus Christ, the King of Kings. Who do you want to go through life with? And Jesus is not a 911. He's not something when you get it. Well, when you do, I called on him when I got in trouble. Hallelujah. But see, God is good. He said, do you really want me? See, God used trouble to get us to him. Hallelujah. Yeah, there was trouble. Selfishness caused me some trouble. It led me to God. But when I went to God to get out of my trouble, he saved me. For real, he changed me. Hallelujah. So God has come to save us, what? From our selfishness. God, Jesus gives us a vision. He saved the 12 fishermen. They were just going about fishing, doing nothing with their life. Catching fish. Boring life. Catching fish. Until they met Jesus. And when they met Jesus, Jesus said, drop your nets. I'm going to make you fishers of men. I got a vision. I've got a plan. I've got it for you. Hallelujah. I've got an exciting life. Peter walks on the water with Jesus. Yeah, he said, and he was right there with Jesus. He picked him up. They watched Jesus feed 5,000 with 5 loaves. They came into a miraculous life. So the devil is a liar when he says that going to church is boring. I've had more fun in church, hallelujah, more fun in the body of Christ than I had in the world. No hangover. No hangover. I ain't waking up tweaking. Jones and motherfucking my next fit. No way I ain't Jones. I ain't gotta be out there trying to humble it. I gotta do it for what? Hallelujah. He saved us from ourselves. Are you grateful to God? I'm grateful. I'm grateful. So Jesus saved us from ourselves. He saved us from sin. And lastly, he saved us from sin.
Yes, Lord. Thank you.
The Bible says we have an adversary, the devil, who goes back like a roaring lion. Seeking whom he may devour. And the devil is trying to work overtime on the body of Christ. He's trying to keep us from coming to church. Why? Because we get fed. He's trying to keep us from loving each other. He's trying to keep us from the things of God. And he's on his job. But I'm going to tell you, there's one, his name is Jesus Christ. He's the Lord of Lords and the King of Kings. See, when Satan had me bound, get up here, my brother. I want to use you real quick. And you can be, you gonna be Jesus. He gonna be Satan. But this is my brother. He ain't the devil. So just grab me, wrap me. So he had me bound, but you Jesus now. And so he had me bound. So he's strong. I'm like, I can't get out. I couldn't get out. Satan, the power of Satan had me bound. It wasn't no addict and all. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, 12. No. The devil had me bound. My drug addiction, nothing could break it because the devil had me bound. My mental issues, nothing could break it because the devil, I can't break out of it. How can I do right? The devil has me bound. I can't move. I can't do nothing. I can't go and think freely because the devil has me bound. I'm bound. See, I'm bound. I can't move. See, he's moving me. See, walk over there. See, he's moving. He's guiding me. He's telling me where to go. And that's what a lot of people are. They come in here and they're bound by the devil. But here comes Jesus. See, Jesus, you ain't even got to do all that. All you got to do is say loose.